Coach. General comment and then player questions, and we'll let them go. Finish up with you.
Okay.
Need some water?
I'm good. I would love a water.
How you doing?
Good. Good, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you.
Here, Maxime, pass it down.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready, Coach.
You gonna introduce me or just let me fire away?
Fire away.
That was a rivalry game, obviously, very emotional for, I think, for both teams. Hat tip to them. They were really quick to the ball, loose balls and rebounds, which they're really, they excel at, but we shot the ball really well. We played with good poise, especially down the stretch, getting down the last 5 minutes there. And, what you have to do in postseason, be able to make some big shots. Ozaya hit a big three. Benny hit a big three at the end of the clock. And then Chisholm had a nice big drive late that kind of put us up and made the free throw to put us up 4. And our 2 senior leaders just kind of had really what you need in postseason is for them to step up big time. So we couldn't be more thrilled.
Okay, questions first for 2 players. First one to our right.
Maxime, Jaylen, I remember talking to you guys at Media Days, and y'all were stoked about the young program coming in, first-year head coach, and it's been a great story so far. I know job's not done, but how do y'all feel about how this year has gone for y'all so far?
I think we surpassed expectations. Coach Smith kind of talked to us before that we were projected 17th out of 18th. We weren't even supposed to be here right now. And for us to be here, with the talent we have, I think we're doing a great job. We have great talent, young talent that you guys haven't even seen yet, and I think the more is to come. Next year, a lot of the freshmen, sophomores, juniors that are coming back, they're ready to build on what we're doing right now.
Front row.
For both the players, Mike Barber, Bay Area Media Group. I don't know how aware you were that they had played the 4 overtimes and the 2 overtimes. Were you surprised at how much they had left in the tank, and did that bring another gear out of you guys?
Maxime.
I mean, we always talk about how, starting off a tournament with a win going to give you a lot of energy, right? I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of, recovery stuff, eating bananas, whatever, oranges, whatever give you back energy. But really, what it's about is coming in with the right mindset and trying to have, a killer mentality. Obviously, they stuck around for too long, which is not okay for us, but they're a good team. They're a good team. Andre got 37. I mean, he's a good player as well. He led them, sorry. So, no, not surprised there, but really happy on how the guy reacted and how we won that game.
Jaylen.
Yeah, as he said, every game in the tournament is going to be competitive. Nobody wants to go home, especially with that long travel back to California. Nobody wants to get on that flight back home. But we knew going in that, obviously, we beat them twice before, but, there was a lot of pride on the line. Obviously, when you're playing a Cal-Stanford game, it's a rivalry game, and it means a lot more to, just the player, the 10 people that are playing on the court. It means a lot to the alumni, and, that's a more watched game by the Stanford and Cal fans. So we knew that they were going to come out with extreme fire, passion. I'm glad that we weathered the storm for sure.
Back of the room.
Maxime, first off, where'd you get the shades?
They just stuck with us the whole tournament. I went bowling with a couple teammates on Sunday. We picked those up, and they've been traveling with us ever since. So I think it's a little good luck charm, if I can say. And so I'm just bringing them everywhere. And man, we got the win. So
We'll see them tomorrow.
Absolutely.
How would you describe your battles with Andre? Him going for the performance he did, and then you had the block at the end. How would you characterize that and what that one-on-one battle means to you?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's a one-on-one battle. I do think it's a team against a team. He mentioned the rivalry game earlier. It's the first time in 64 years that we go 3-0 against him. But yeah, he was obviously their best performer, and when that happened, you want to give him as much attention as possible. So if that means sprinting back on defense, blocking his shot, trying to help the guards and being as high as possible on the ball screens, that's what we do. But I think overall you need to give more credits to JB, Benny, Ozai. Pretty much all the guards that were guarding him for 40 minutes. I think these are the guys that did the most of the work. And now on a more personal standpoint of the court, he's obviously a good friend, obviously someone I respect a lot. But, between those lines, he's just the opponent. He's just rivalry game once again. So I'm glad we got the win and proud of him. Hope he can get good rest and good recovery for next season.
To our left.
Dusty Baker, Wave Sports. You guys, for both players, starting with Jaylen, you come off an emotional win today against a rival, but then you turn your attention to tomorrow, and you're facing a team that you just fell by 22 just a few days ago. How do you shift that mentality, and what does that look like for you guys as you take on a U of L team that has been hot going into this tournament?
Yeah, they're really good, and obviously, you know that, but for us, we're not just focused on what we did today. We have a goal in mind, and it's not just to get one win. And for us, I think, we have to respect the opponent, respect what they did, but obviously we didn't have our best outing against them at their place, and, we're just going to try to improve and, get recovered, as Max said, and, focus on tomorrow.
Front row.
Grand Avalon Channel Tree. For both players, you guys have come together very well at the end of a lot of close games this year and have pulled a lot of them out in the final minutes. And in this game, we were playing with two guys off the bench in the closing minutes, and Chisholm and Benny. Can you talk about just the way that you come together as a group of five?
Maxime.
I mean, that guy is a closer for sure. If you talk about Santa Clara and UNC especially, I mean, two buzzer beater this year. That's awesome. That's what you need from your leaders, right? And on top of that, I think he really showed the way for the other guys coming off the bench to play with toughness and make the right decision. I mean, Chase came off the bench, but at the end we got two fast break. He got an extra pass, even though he could have gone for a layup. We get a wide open three for Zaya, which is one of the best shooters in the ACC. And then later he get a fast break dunk and a 2+1, like when we're just up one with 20 seconds to go. So once again, he mentioned it earlier, all the guys on the bench, like whether they're freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, are extremely talented, and like we're really excited for the future. And today was the opportunity for them to step up, and they really did it.
Jaylen.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when it comes to close games, towards the end of the games, the more together team usually wins. And, that's something that, Coach Smith talks about. Obviously, he talks about faith, family, team. And, a big emphasis is on team and being together, being the closest knit team. And I think for us, when it comes to end of games, a lot of teams kind of scurry away and think they have to be a hero. But, obviously in those games where, you hit big shots, everybody's taking that shot with you. And for us, it doesn't matter who comes in the game. Obviously we won a close game against NC State without myself. So these people, anybody that comes in the game is built for the moment. And, it doesn't just happen that moment. It happened in practice. So, whoever goes into the game, we've seen it multiple times in practice before.
Okay, Maxine, Jaylen, you guys can head out. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow. See you in the shades tomorrow. The Cal locker room is open until 9:48. The Stanford locker room, 9:54. Now, questions for Coach. We'll start on our right.
Coach Kyle, y'all didn't win the rebound battle tonight, but y'all clearly won the turnover battle today. How do you think winning that turnover battle was more substantial than getting up the boards?
It created some offense for us, and we're not a team that normally turns people over a lot. And they really concern us on the offensive boards, and with Petrides, Sissoko, and Dort, they're just three elite offensive rebounders in this league, and we actually did a good job on those three. We shut out Petrides, which I think probably hadn't happened all year on the offensive boards. But the other guys got to us, and they're a very physical team, and they put a lot of pressure at the rim defensively. So if you bring help and they get shots up there, it's hard to get it back. And credit to them, they had a great opportunity to get that done, and we were fortunate to make some shots there. Ball went in last two games we had made many shots, so that was a comforting feeling, at least, that ball went in tonight.
Front row.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Mike Barber, Bay Area Media Group. I'm curious, how aware were you, obviously, of how many minutes Cal had played in recent games? Do you think that impacted them, and what do you think about the way your guys responded when they were pushed?
I didn't know how to play it. Obviously, very aware. I was watching the Notre Dame game on the flight, and it's like more timeout, more TOs. But, I've been in that situation, and we told our guys, this time of year, just look at the tournament last year. NC State won 5 in a row on 5 nights. So when you get in that, and I actually think there's a bit of an advantage often for the team that just coming off a win. I think Maxime kind of said, like, where they've already been in the environment. We haven't played in the ACC tournament. We haven't been in this building, and there's some jitters, and I think we might have had those a little bit, but they're comfortable, and they're kind of in that flow, and they were shorthanded and played really well. So credit to them. and I think Coach Madsen's a good coach. We know his DNA is Stanford. We feel so it's an odd rivalry, but a ton of respect for them, and they had a great effort, and they've been playing. I knew it. They're really hard to get away from. If we were down, and very fortunate to win.
Second row.
Ian Scher, Niner Times. Coach, it's your first year as the coach at Stanford, and you just, for the first time in 64 years, beat Cal 3 times in the same season, going 3-0. How are you feeling after that?
I'm kind of focused on Louisville. To be quite honest, we just played them, and I really actually, crazy as it sounds, we lost by 20. We didn't shoot the ball well, but we guarded pretty well for about 36 minutes. So that's where my head's at. That's not. It's neat for us. We had a lot of firsts this year. The things that happened in a while. Like we made big improvements defensively. That was our goal. It was never specific. We said we went in this year we have a baseline now. We finished 7th. There's something to shoot for, whatever. But we just want to have what they talked about is having the best culture, best team, caring about one another. I think that works at Stanford, and we have to out-team people. And whether we did that or not, we did tonight. I don't know if we're the better team, but we were a good team tonight. We were good to each other.
Front left.
Cal scored on a number of consecutive possessions to start the game, but you were able to take the lead in the last 10 minutes of the first half by holding to about 9 points in that stretch. What did you guys do differently?
Stojakovic wasn't shooting as much. I mean, he was a one-man band the start, and I was like, I want to use I ended up having to use a timeout, but I was worried he got his first basket. It was a tough turnaround in the lane over that, and he's a scorer. And then I think that hoop just looked big to him, and so I think I was like, I think we'll contain him. At some point we might get back in this thing, but I was wrong. He kept it going. We just, like I said, we had to block his shot from behind was the best way to stop him. So, that end of the first half was big to us, and then. We got some good shots to start the second half. We couldn't put them in and couldn't separate, and we couldn't get stops. Campbell was terrific too. They made tough ones. Campbell made a lot of tough shots.
Third row left.
Hey, Coach, you briefly touched on it already, but you go from securing this victory to making adjustments now as you turn your attention to Louisville. What are those adjustments going to look like, and does it kind of help that you just saw this team a few days ago?
I think so. It helps, but they're what are they, won 19 out of 20? They're just playing really well. They got one of the best, if not the best, point guard in the country. He's been phenomenal, and you're gonna have to play well to get them. But I thought we did some good things defensively. They're just kind of relentless. It was senior night, and we have to. They were really good defensively that night. I'd like to say we had open shots that we missed, but there just wasn't much breathing room there. So we're going to have to look at the film and see if we can find a way. They switched a lot of stuff. They pressured us, and so we gotta find ways to crack that code.
Third row right in front of me.
Stephen Arthur, Virginia Tech Television. Coach, not only did you win the turnover battle, but you also won the stealing battle as well. How did you like how your defense pickpocket the ball out?
We can get pretty good. Jaylen Blake's is exceptional. I didn't know till after the game he took a little offense not getting any credit for all defense or something. I said, oh, good. It's good motivation because he's really good at disrupting plays like that, and he's usually the key guy in that. And it turned into offense. And the other guy, Chisholm, I don't know if he had any steals, but the way he defends, he's got quick feet and quick hands. He usually bothers some people in there, and get those two on the floor together, that can happen for us. So we needed to because it's hard for us to grab a rebound.
Back left.
Coach Brian Murphy with WRL in Raleigh. A little bit of a bigger view question. You guys have won 20 games. You're above 500 in the league. And years past, that would have been an automatic NCAA berth. Now you're looking at teams that are maybe 6 and 12 in another league going to the tournament. What does this league need to do? I know it's your first year, but what does it need to do to get back to where they're putting 7, 8, 9 teams in the tournament?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, we didn't win enough non-conference games, I think, as a whole. And that's where our net was down a little bit. And, we had the same conversations in the Pac-12. So I think we'll get better. I don't know. I mean, I can't really tell you. First year in the league, not worried about everyone else as much. But, that's kind of our thought process was try to, you don't know these days who's on your team. We knew we were going to have, 15 fresh faces for us. we got a long travel, but if you would have told us we were going to go 11-9 in the ACC, you would think you're in. But you know, we got to get better, and some other teams we got to be able to have quad ones. I've talked to Jim about relegation, so this might be my moment, trying to go 2 divisions, so you'd have a top play top. So he'll probably be mad for mentioning that, but I do think that would give you more opportunities if you like played everyone twice in the top division and champions in Premier League. I've been working on this. Yeah, I mean, like based on you would have like 2 divisions, and then at the end of the year you'd relegate someone, but that top division would play each other twice, so you'd get more quad ones, and it'd be pretty neat.
Second row, right.
I took my shot.
Coach, TJ Wilkerson, VTRN Sports. Both you and Kelsey, first-year head coaches, came into programs that needed some turning around, and you both have done that. He just won Coach of the Year. Your team is on the rise. Can you talk about the pressures and everything that goes into turning around a program, and how have y'all done that within the year already on the rise?
I don't know. I've got a lot of practice. This is my 4th one. And it's funny because everyone said, like, I always thought of Stanford being the right fit for me, and I couldn't agree more. So it was a little easier, just the comfort of living in the Bay Area, which is like a second home to me. I coached at Columbia. I've always dreamed of I like to work with the smart guys, and I'm not intimidated by them too much. They're all smarter than me. But it's been good, and ironically is that I told Pat he's doing a heck of a job, and he deserved that. And Louisville reached out to me during last year, and I was just like, seriously? I said, look, I love bourbon. I love thoroughbreds. I love basketball. Not necessarily in that order. That was a text to him. I never heard back from him. So I said, but I knew I thought I had a good Stanford wanted me. I was like, I just didn't see me, but it's a great job, and he's a good fit there. I didn't realize he's from Cincinnati, and he's got a lot of energy, and I think some guys would construe that as being like a shtick. It's not. You can tell he's genuine. That's who he is. He's got that. You can't fake that. And he's good for the league. Good to see Louisville good, but not that good. I don't like that. we got to play him.
2 more questions. Front left.
You closed the game with Benny and Chisholm on the court. Can you talk about the decision to roll with them and then how they paid it off late in the game?
Cal will bother. They're going full court pressure. They did it to Virginia Tech last night. They did it to us at our place when we had the game in control. So getting Jaylen Benny out there is important. We also think Benny's a pretty good defender. You're going to have to hit shots over him. He's not that big, but it's hard to get around. And we're hard to get stopped, so that was part. And then Chisholm he had it tonight. He was playing well. We were just better on the floor, plus minus. We look at it. I'm be honest. I can tell let's say he was plus 10 tonight in his 24 minutes. He was 5 for 5 from the field, but he's getting more confident, and he was confident there tonight. So, Donovan been hurt for a while. He'd been out and he just got back, but his job was just to block out Petritis. And like I said, he did. Donovan, mission accomplished or whatever. We did a good job there. I have so much respect for Petritis, his ability to get offensive rebounds. So, but good job for both those guys. Helped us.
Last question, 3rd row.
Tomorrow you'll be playing against the Defensive Player of the Year for the ACC and Chucky Hepburn. What will be the game plan in order to keep the scoring train a-rolling?
We got to take care of the ball. He really will blow up some plays, which is unique, like Jaylen does too. Our guy, he'll deflections, long arms, but he's so quick and clever on those things. You can't, because that turns into offense for them. So, like I said, we got to do a little more research because we didn't have the right game plan. We weren't getting the shots they're desired, and they're going to be well rested. But hopefully we have some of the mojo that Cal had, after a win, and we can play with some confidence out there tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
If you want to, you can bring sunglasses tomorrow too. It's up to you.
These tint.
I don't want you to. I'm glad I got my